please join me in welcoming our panel for AI in Customer Service Portfolio Management and Collections. Mr. Ganesh Gopalan, co-founder and CEO, Gnani. Mr. Sudipto Nag, President and Head, Retail Portfolio Management Group, Axis Bank. And this panel will be moderated by Ms. Zeenat Hamirani, Chief Risk Officer at L&T Finance. Let's explore how intelligence is being used not just to resolve problems, but to anticipate them and to build smarter, more human-centered financial systems. Give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me all welcome you to our panel, and this is the last panel. Our topic is AI in customer service, portfolio management, and collections. And my esteemed panelists are Ganesh Gopalan, CEO and co-founder of Gnani, and Mr. Sudipto Nag, President and Head, Retail Portfolio Management, Axis Bank. So guys, when I was looking at the panel subject and I was wondering that, I attend so many of panels, and will these panels exist after 5 years? And just a thought came to my mind that probably there will be a panel and 4-5 sophisticated AI bots would be sitting here and doing a discussion on how do we optimize human in the loop. And probably all the applauds also will be through AI, wherein, AI will see the quality of discussion and then probably the applauds would come. But thank God, we do not have bots doing the panel. We actually have industry experts who would help us to understand the incredible power of AI usage in portfolio management, customer service, and collections. So I would like to start with Sudipto. I've worked with him and he's my dear colleague. Sudipto, how do you see usage of AI giving us cost benefit, efficiency? How do you see they giving us more and more benefits probably in the entire life cycle management of a customer?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Largely, if I look at on the retail side, if I put it into context, today the voice is always being spoken about, like voice is largely being taken over by the various examples of the bots. But if you look at the life cycle, and we also heard about large banks today, almost like the cost of migration to a bot has led to about 20% of the cost, right? So there definitely it is strengthening the OpEx. But if you look at the overall life cycle management, we have to just see on the two of the axes for the ease of illustration. One axis we can look at the 3 paradigms of AI. One is predictive AI, generative AI, and agentic AI. And the other axis, if we look at the various stages of collection, it could be starting from prospecting. There is indeed a use of predictive AI, which even today, it is getting used from the standpoint of largely if you look at all statistical models are being used for prospecting.
Yes.
Recommender engine, it is going to help in terms of knowing more about the customer than the customer knowing more about themselves. That's the power of that. In terms of fraud detection, today the fraud is, thousands of transactions which need to be checked, right? The pattern recognition, which is again part of the predictive AI, which is helping in terms of identifying those frauds which can be avoided. Underwriting. Underwriting has moved from rudimentary only credit markers to also looking at the alternate data. That is going to help in terms of reduction of the losses.
Yeah.
And again, if I look at from the use of various collection tools, all the risk models which are helping in terms of micro-segmentations, and that is also acting as a feed in terms of the credit underwriting. Then comes into the generative AI. Yes. Generative AI is going to help the job of the relationship manager significantly well because it is consuming and it is reading on, summarizing all the data, factual policies, processes, so that it becomes much easier for the relationship manager to sell the product. Similarly, it is helping in terms of content creation, in terms of campaign. The jobs are becoming much simpler. And agentic AI is nothing. It is largely to do with the DIY. And you will see larger migrations are moving towards the DIY, which is the agentic AI. And the tools are going to make the biggest differentiations.
Yeah, I think the tools and how we use it effectively probably are going to be the next big thing for the organizations. Coming to you, Ganesh, we heard the panel saying that, people with 10 to 25 years of experience, etc., will probably see some challenges when, if they do not adopt AI. But yes, AI is going to replace the mundane jobs, the repetitive jobs which will be there. How do you think organizations should help their teams, their people to reskill their people themselves, and how do organizations do that?
Yeah, I think firstly, the domain knowledge within organizations is very largely underestimated, right? So for example, the best prompters in the industry for voice, I found are the contact center guys, right?
Okay.
So a good contact center guy knows, what sort of persona that you have to adopt. Let's suppose it's collections, let's say early stage of collections. What should be the persona? What should be the gender of the person who talks? The kind of conversations you should have. So typically people who are doing the current tasks are the best people to train your AI.
Yes.
So first and foremost, the folks that have the right domain knowledge in every part of your verticals are the right guys to train your AI, right? The guys who are already doing your current underwriting are the guys who are best qualified to build your AI agents, right? So I think firstly recognize that we have an immense trove of talent within the organizations. More importantly, proper training sessions, or rather, just challenges put to people. I've seen in many organizations that we work with, people who've never done any line of code in their lives.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll give you an example. We work, with a specific collection company, and this gentleman, is about 55 years old. Never coded a line of code in his life, right? But asked him to design an AI agent and do the prompting, right? He wanted the agent in Oria, right? And trust me, within 2 hours, we were able to build out this agent through him. And it was really probably the best prompting that I've seen built with the right sort of guardrails, the right sort of functionalities that you can build in. So I think once people get their hands dirty, that's the best way to utilize this. And you'll be really surprised at what people are capable of, especially when it comes to people having their own domain knowledge.
Okay, thank you. So Ganesh, I would also want to ask you that, with all this data which is coming in through AI, there is a lot of data privacy, or probably because the bots are now interacting directly with the customers and they are using their own thoughts, etc., which we have feed in and taking and the situations as per the customer's requirement. There could be a lot of customers' escalations, etc., to RBI and data privacy, etc., in that format. How do you see, organizations to mitigate majorly this kind of, risk?
Yeah, see, I think first and foremost, let's first take it in multiple parts, right?
Sure.
Let's suppose you are doing a AI agent, right? Typically, we had these discussions when I first heard it from some person in NVIDIA in Europe. I was kind of taken aback. So he asked me a question, when you design AI agents, how much should the prompting be, right? And, my team gave answers between 20% to 40%, right? And his answer was the best AI agent should have at least 60–65% of guardrails,
Yeah.
right? And that was an eye-opener for us, right? And if you take it to the next level, right? I mean, once you get into privacy and other issues, the next question is about ethical issues, right?
Yes.
So every organization in town, right? If you go and look into those organizations, they will have an ethical policy, right? Every floor of the office, there will be a poster saying that, this is our ethical policy, this is what we are responsible for as individuals. But really, what is really needed now is this responsible AI policy. And that has to be plastered, that has to be inculcated with every person in every organization. So, for example, I work with an organization called GPay, where, we're trying to, help other organizations with the responsible AI policy, right? Now the important piece is that you have to look at it from the context of a fresh university graduate who's training models for you. And the biggest worry is that he doesn't know anything about responsible AI. He doesn't know anything about data security, safeguarding customers' data. So unless you inculcate this in every person, it's not going to happen. So what I'm trying to say here is what we need is a process where when new people join your organization, tell them about responsible AI and tell them that while you're talking ethics, you talk to them about responsible AI, how to be careful with customer data, how to make sure that you train with the right data and always ask questions. If you remember, all this is what we learn in our ethical class, but has to be repeated when it comes to responsible AI.
In fact, I think yesterday MeitY has also issued guidance which talks about risk-calibrated innovation of AI innovation. So I think people have, and we had a very good panel on the same. Coming to you, Sudipto, especially all this hyper-personalization, etc. coming in and all this AI booming up, how do you see next 3 to 5 years the industry of customer service, portfolio management and collection getting disrupted?
I am a strong believer that there's going to be a huge disruption. Largely, if I just put a few of those examples so that it becomes much easier to understand, all the incomings which are calls which are going to come, right? It is not about predictive AI because predictive AI is the baseline of it and we have been doing it. The content creation, there will be multiple personas which are going to get created.
Yes.
It will be, in 1,000 lakhs persona. Second will be the content creation in terms of the campaign. Which customer, which campaign will be more symptomatic in nature rather than anything else. It is not like a one size fits all. The other piece is the role of the agentic AI. The agentic AI, once it is receiving the call, agentic AI is assessing the call and it's passing it to the agent. And the agents are trained with the right set of tool. It is not about just taking the call and collecting payment. It is about if I just take a situation of a payment as an agent, which is connected to agentic tool. So the agent is being asked to pass on the payment gate. What if the customer is not having a repayment mode? Then giving a NACH registration, that's another tool. There could be a possibility customer is not in a position to make the payment. Then could be a pre-qualified settlement can be a tool. All these tools are cost to action model. And if there is a cost to action model, definitely the paradigm is going to shift, but the agent and the employee is going to make the team. The throughput is going to increase. It is not somebody is going to take the job. I believe 50% of job will not go, but definitely throughput will go up substantially high.
Yes.
And that's how when we look at Viksit Bharat story,
Yeah.
it will come out of that. Otherwise, there is no other reason why it will not be able to, making big transformation.
Yeah. Throughput will go, probably efficiencies, productivity will improve, cost will come down. I think that will be the major things which we will see. Coming to you, Ganesh. Ganesh, this disruption, when we are talking about hyper-personalization and when we are seeing that, this is what is going to disrupt. We all heard today, multilingual bots, this, that. What's next? What's next you feel in these 3 fields? What is the next which is coming up, which is a big one?
See, we are hearing people from Eric Schmidt and others talking about AGI. Some people are talking about ASI in the next 5 to 10 years. So, I'm not going to go there, right? And there's a lot of stuff happening today and will happen in the next couple of years. So let's focus on those, right? Like you pointed out, hyper-personalization is going to be incredible, right? It's already being taken up, but just take a real life scenario. I think Vishal talked about some of this today morning, right? You get customer service gets a call, right? A person just asks about 3 months account statement, right? The most basic things that happen or will happen is a rag on, say, the customer data, right? And you know that he had a credit card, transaction for some travel. So the most obvious thing is, yes, you will try to do, sell him some travel insurance, right? And, but let's suppose you actually are able to figure out based on his life stage, what kind of travel he has taken, or what kind of, what kind of spends that he's planning to do, and put some reasoning on top of it, then you can actually sell him some totally different set of products. So the second point I'm trying to make here is some sort of reasoning is going to start entering into all kinds of agents, right? Third, and I'm just talking about something that's already here. Actually, we launched one of these products at GFF. We all talk about voice AI agents today, and we do a lot of that. But really, the effort every day is going to be about how do you humanize conversations. And I think AI avatars are going to become really, really commonplace, right? At GFF, we created an avatar of myself and put it up. And, people are really surprised that, how human-like and how easy today it is to voice clone, particular individual. So where are the benefits, right? The benefits are very simple. The more you humanize conversations, when you try to reach Bharat, it is going to be more and more easy to reach customers, right? So we spoke about hyper-personalization, we spoke about, multimodal, we spoke about reasoning. The other thing that we are already seeing, and I know somebody talked about it, is, even if it is not complete reasoning, like an intermediate one. Like, for example, you have settlement cases, you're going to have a lot of negotiation happening through AI agents, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff is already happening. We're already seeing some customers trying some of these things out, but it is just going to become commonplace, right? The other thing that we heard, and which is a matter of time, is going to be AI agents talking to AI agents, right? And that's, something that's not like too far away, probably, when two organizations are going to talk to each other, it's going to be fundamentally agents talking to AI agents. And then you got to figure out, what sort of conversations are they going to be. Because this is a world built by humans, not a world built by or for AI agents, right? So when AI agents talk to AI agents, what kind of conversations are they going to have, right? Are they going to talk in zeros and ones? Or are they going to talk, in Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, or Gujarati? So the world is going to change entirely, but I think rather than looking at what AGI and ASI are going to bring in, rather look at what companies like, for example, L&T Finance are doing. Whatever technologies out there, we are, hardly taking the benefit of what's already out there, right?
Yes.
And that's going to be the bigger challenge. How do we take all this to scale and reap the benefits out of them?
I think how to take it to scale is my next question to Sudipto. Sudipto, in the hierarchy of being nimble, if you start with fintech and then go to NBFC and then go to bank, as the size increases, the implementation of AI, be it data security or be it, the reputational risk or regulation, etc., it gets little more, a little more difficult for larger organizations to implement. You're part of a very large organization. What do you see as a challenge, and what do you see, how do you see large organizations implementing AI?
Yeah, okay. So if I look at, first on adoption and all, first we'll look at how the, adoption can work, and for a large organization, it will not be much or different. First thing is data believability has to be high. Data need to be structured, because the larger part of the entire thing, if you look at, is almost like 20% is the data, how the data is structured and all. Because today we are in a world which is largely unstructured data. Data is only data. Data includes image, audio, video, everything, a profiling has to be done. So be it a large organization, small organization, data believability, if it is there, it will be addressed. Second part is the technology. Technology is largely to do with, we heard about computing, how quickly the computings are being done. That's going to make the job easy, which is about almost another 10 to 20, almost 10% of it. 70% is to the culture building, which is top down. Again, whether the organizations are building those structure of AI believability or not, that's the very, very important, getting the right skill of people. And again, for a bank perspective, if I look at today, people talk about physical bank, digital bank, voice bank. The times are there when people already started talking about AI bank. AI bank should be, at least for the next 3 to 4 years, we'll say, 15 to 20% of the services are migrating into AI bank. And that's how large banks with plethora of data and the experience is going to make it. But few skill sets we have to buy, few skill sets we have to build. That's how we are going to do it.
Yeah, I think that is why in L&T Finance, we call ourselves as fintech at scale. So we believe that we do have nimbleness of a fintech, whereas we also are a regulated entity and we ensure that all regulations are followed and we scale basis both of them. Just last questions to both of them. What could be the, full day we have heard about AI. So what could be two large takeaways which you want to give to these youngsters, innovators, and our people? Two large takeaways which you all feel, people should take with them.
I think the first thing is, AI is firstly another piece of software. So do it for ROI, right? Let's not do it for academic purpose, right? And the companies I've seen that do it, try about 100 use cases. They find like 20 of them, are giving them great ROI and taking them to scale work really well. So the first thing I'll say is it's fundamentally another piece of software. Do it so that it gives you some amazing ROI, right?
So for me, when I looked at largely the deep learning and the believability of AI, everybody need to think that it is like one point of time people used to know computers, right? Knowing AI is fundamental now, right? If we don't know basics of AI, it's going to be a trouble journey. AI is no more a fancy. AI is a possibility. AI is a multiplier, right? We will start thinking on that, and that's how, because throughout the day we have seen the possibilities, and that possibility is going to shape the entire thing. So there has to be an AI in each of us, and again on the collection standpoint, AI is not collect, AI is also to care. So that's how it is going to work.
So I think for me, the two takeaways majorly are data with empathy when you are saying we have to care, and speed with sensitivity. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for these two lovely panelists for this good panel discussion. Thank you Ganesh, and thank you Sudipto, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge round of applause for this incredibly insightful session. I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ashish Goyal, Chief Executive, Farmer Finance at L&T Finance, to felicitate these bright minds on stage. Give them a huge round of applause, please. What happened? There are no more panels. Come on. Too much silence in the room. Come on, guys.